he has to leave a little early too.
What is a mentor? I think we all have a pretty good idea of what a mentor is, or we have an understanding what we think it means to us. But today I'm going to explore the topic with a little bit of depth. And I'm going to do this through what I call the process of elimination method. So rather than trying to figure out what a mentor is, I'm going to focus instead on what a mentor isn't. Mentor. The first question, if I'm going to do this, is, okay, where do I start? Because there's nearly infinite things that are not mentors. This Leghorn is not a mentor. That map is not a mentor. Cell phone is not a mentor. Well, for some people these days, maybe it is. But, so I narrowed down my scope. I came up with 3 things that are very much like mentors, but they're different in nuanced ways. I think by exploring these 3 things that are not mentors, but like mentors, we can hone in a little bit on truly what a mentor is. And these 3 things are a hero, a teacher, and a partner. And before I go on, in all fairness, I will say that these things are not mutually exclusive with mentors. You can be a teacher and a mentor can be a teacher, but the point here is that a teacher does not a mentor make. There are some minor details that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about each one real quick, then we'll circle back at the end and extrapolate what we learned about mentorship by examining what the things that are not mentors. First, a hero. We've all had heroes growing up. A hero is someone that you look up to, that you aspire to be like, that you admire hyperbolically. But a hero is really, in essence, a one-way relationship. You may or may not know him or her personally. He may or may not know you. For example, when I was a little kid, Dan Marino was my hero. Kind of silly now I look back on it, but I was a football fan, and I never met him. He probably didn't know I even existed, but I sat on the couch every Sunday and watched him throw a little brown ball around, so he was my hero. It does not imply, a hero relationship does not imply that there's any caring involved, or really any personal relationship. So a mentor is more than this. A teacher is like a mentor, in that they have a specific domain of knowledge or skills that they are experts in. And the role of a teacher is to impart those skills or knowledge to a student. But the difference here is the level of investment. The teacher, their role is to impart knowledge or skills in a specific domain to the student. So for example, a math teacher teaches equations to the student. The student demonstrates proficiency and provides feedback to the teacher, and therefore, okay, the job is complete. But there's not necessarily an investment in personal development. The development is in a very narrow domain, and a mentor is more than this. The last role that is like a mentor but it's not a mentor is a partner. And the term partner I came up with late in preparing for this speech. Originally I used the term swim buddy, which is what we use in my training pipeline. It's basically a friend. It's informal or formally assigned partner where you basically look out for each other. Hey, you watch my back, I'll watch yours, and we'll take care of each other. It's a very symmetrical relationship. And there's not really an implication of growth here. We're just protecting each other. It's an important relationship and it's valuable, but a mentor is more than this. So now that we've talked about these 3 things, and we've identified some of the key characteristics of them, what does it tell us about what a mentor actually is? First, unlike a hero, a mentorship-protege relationship is a 2-way relationship. It involves a personal connection, and the hero is interested in bringing up the protege. And unlike a teacher, this growth is in a very wide domain. It's not limited to a specific subject, a specific skill. The mentor cares about the holistic individual. And really the domain or skill that he's involved with the protege with is really just a vehicle through which the individual can grow. It's almost secondary to the holistic personal growth. And unlike a swim buddy, the relationship is asymmetrical. There is a little bit of a hierarchy in a mentor-protege relationship. They're not on equal grounds like a partner relationship. The mentor brings experience, perspective, or insights that the protege can gain from. It's not like a boss, although a boss can be a mentor, is in the mentor is not necessarily dictating or bossing around the protege, but he does come from a place of implied experience authority. So in conclusion, the value of a mentor is that it's a personal relationship that helps the growth of the protege. But let's not forget that it's also valuable for the mentor. For those of us who have mentored someone, you know that it's one of the most rewarding experiences in the world to see someone that you have an investment with succeed. So like I said earlier, it is a two-way relationship, and that two-way relationship is also mutually beneficial. So take advantage, my concluding remarks are to take advantage of the mentors in the room, and also take advantage of the opportunity to mentor others in the room. Everyone here has been the new guy, first meeting at Toastmasters, first time up here at the lectern giving your icebreaker, nervous, don't know what to do. So we all have been in those shoes. But there's also people in the room who have been here a long time and have a lot of experience and knowledge to share. So take advantage of the opportunity to mentor and take advantage of the opportunity to be mentored. Thank you.
Hello, Toastmasters, most welcome guests. And first of all, Brad, of course. Thank you very much for this speech. I'm actually in preparation for giving a similar speech, so I've learned a lot from you. So Brad was giving a speech from the Pathways, and he was supposed to talk to us about Toastmasters mentoring. And it's not that straightforward as it sounds at first, because the Pathways actually defined what the mentor is, and it's a little bit more limited and a little bit more specific than a common definition of a mentor. And I think that Brad has done a wonderful job introducing to us this definition without specifically defining it. And I'm going to provide 3 things Brad excelled at, 3 suggestions on what he may want to do differently next time, and something he may want to try to challenge himself. What Brad has done wonderfully. First of all, the speech idea by itself was extremely inventive. He was talking from the point of elimination. He was talking to us about what a mentor is not. And it sort of stuck to my mind. I now will always remember hero, teacher, and partner, and what I need to do differently to be a good mentor. The speech was very well developed and organized with patterns, which created this enjoyable rhythm. He was talking about what a hero is, for example. He would give us an example, a personal example, and then move forward talking to us what exactly hero is why exactly hero is different than a mentor. So it was very enjoyable. Professional, eloquent language, very appropriate for this speech. Holistic, implies, extrapolate, hierarchy. It was very well said and, as I said, appropriate. And very relaxed style of speaking, adding some light humor and adding some personal touch, as for example, my training pipeline. We have probably the only person here, and we would remember it was Brad who said it. Suggestions. I would suggest you work more on your vocal variety, maybe adding some pauses and some variation when you speak about hero, when you speak about teacher. Just a hint would be enough. Usage of the stage. I think there was a little bit of pacing, and it wasn't on purpose. So my suggestion is to plant yourself in one place of the stage and then move somewhere as a transition to a different part of the speech. And maybe watch for unnecessary gesture, creating some quiet background in terms of gestures, so your gestures would stand out. Overall, it was great speech, and I look forward to many more of your speeches.